Hold your horses for a second. I want you to take a look at this white powder. You probably have it sitting in your kitchen pantry right now. Maybe you use it to wash your veggies or to settle your stomach after you've pigged out at dinner. But what if I told you that this simple powder, which costs pennies on the dollar, possesses a chemical property capable of modifying the pH of your blood and, if used with a specific protocol, can influence the dilation of your arteries down under? There's a reason everyone on the web is buzzing about this. There's a reason my videos on this topic have blown up. But there is a huge problem. 90% of men are using it the wrong way. And not only are they not seeing results, but they are risking sending their blood pressure through the roof, getting the exact opposite effect: total impotence. Today, I'm not going to give you some old wives' tale. Today, as a doctor, I will explain the exact biochemistry of how baking soda, sodium bicarbonate, interacts with nitric oxide in your veins, how it can clean the engine of the acidic sludge that kills erections, and above all, I'll give you the dosage down to the millimeter so it works without risks. Stick with me until the bitter end, because the last point, the one about timing, meaning when to take it, is the difference between a flop and a night to remember. I am Dr. Melissa Russo, urologist. For 15 years, I've been working every day with men who think they've tried every trick in the book, from Viagra to injections, from pumps to weird herbs. And my mission is singular: to give you the scientific truth so you can take back control of your potency, with no taboos and no judgment. But before I reveal the baking soda protocol, listen closely. You absolutely need to subscribe to the channel right now and hit the notification bell. Why? Because I'm working on an investigation into an unsuspected food, a vegetable that many of you eat convinced it's good for your prostate, but which actually contains phytotoxins that are literally chemically castrating your testosterone. It's a video that's going to stir the pot, and it's coming out very soon. You wouldn't want to miss it for the world. Subscribe now. Done? All right, let's get back to the baking soda. To understand why baking soda can help your erection, we need to stop staring at the penis and start looking at the soil your cells are swimming in. Picture your body as if it were the engine of a vintage Ferrari. To run, this engine needs clean, fluid oil that flows everywhere without friction. What happens if the oil gets old, thick, and full of gunk and sludge? The engine seizes up, the pistons don't glide, the power takes a nosedive. In your body, this dirty oil is caused by a condition called latent metabolic acidosis. It's not an acute disease, it's a chronic state. We live in a world that acidifies us: processed red meat, sugar, stress, coffee, lack of sleep. All of this shifts the pH of your blood and tissues toward acidity. And here is the secret that few urologists explain to patients. Erections and acid are like oil and water. The blood vessels of the penis, the corpora cavernosa, are lined with cells called endothelium. These cells are the factories that produce the fuel for an erection: nitric oxide. When your body is too acidic, inflammation spikes. And when inflammation spikes, the endothelium gets rusty. It stops producing gas. The vessels remain rigid, tight. The blood tries to get in, but it finds the doors bolted shut. Here's where baking soda comes into play. Baking soda is an alkalizing agent. It's like a solvent you pour into the engine to dissolve that acidic sludge. When you take it correctly, you help your kidneys buffer systemic acidity. You create a less hostile environment. You reduce chronic low-grade inflammation. And guess what happens when inflammation goes down? The arteries start to breathe again. Nitric oxide starts flowing again. We aren't talking about magic/hocus pocus. We are talking about basic chemistry. You are cleaning the filters so that the hydraulic pump, your heart, can push the liquid, the blood, into the cylinder, the penis, without meeting resistance. I want to tell you a true story, so you understand how powerful but also how delicate this is. Let's call this patient Giovanni. Giovanni is 64 years old, an energetic man still working, but with a problem that was eating him alive. His erection was there, but it was running at 60% capacity. Enough to get the ball rolling, but never enough to seal the deal. Giovanni had read about baking soda on the internet. And what did he do? He made the rookie mistake. The mistake you might be making too. He thought, if a teaspoon is good, 3 tablespoons must be better. He started drinking concoctions of water and baking soda 3 times a day, right after stuffing his face at meals. After 2 weeks, he came to me, not for the erection, but because he felt bloated as a tick. His blood pressure was sky high, and the erection had gotten drastically worse. He told me, "Doctor, this stuff is a scam. I feel like I'm going to pop." I had to explain to him that baking soda isn't just harmless water. It's sodium, salt. By taking too much, he had overloaded his system with sodium. Sodium retains water. His blood vessels hadn't dilated. They had swelled up with fluid, increasing the pressure on the arterial walls. High blood pressure is the enemy of erections because it hardens the arteries. Giovanni had turned his flexible blood vessels into rigid lead pipes. We corrected course. We stopped everything for a week. Then we introduced the Russo protocol, which I'll explain in detail in a moment. Minimal doses, precise timing, far from meals. After 20 days, Giovanni came back. His pressure had stabilized. But above all, he told me a sentence I wrote down. "Doctor, I don't know if it's all in my head, but I feel lighter." And last night, for the first time in years, I didn't need to take matters into my own hands to keep the erection. It stayed there, all by itself. It wasn't magic. We had simply rebalanced the pH without destroying the osmotic pressure. In a moment, I'll tell you exactly Giovanni's dose, but first we need to bust a myth that's circulating online and is extremely dangerous. Many YouTube videos tell you, drink baking soda and you'll clear out cholesterol plaque like Drano unclogs a sink. I have to be straight with you because you're here for the medical truth. That is absolute hogwash. Baking soda doesn't dissolve calcified atherosclerotic plaque. That stuff is hard as a rock. If you have an artery that's 90% blocked by calcium, baking soda won't magically reopen it. For that, you need surgery or advanced therapies. So why does it work? Why does it give you that extra edge? It works because it acts on peripheral vascular resistance. Imagine you have a garden hose. If you step on the hose, inflammation, acidosis, the water barely trickles out. Baking soda doesn't remove the lime scale inside the hose, but it's like taking your foot off the hose. It relaxes the external tension. Furthermore, there is an athletic effect that many ignore. Have you ever heard of lactic acid? When you exert yourself physically, and sex is intense physical exertion, your muscles produce lactic acid. When the acid builds up, the muscle gets tired and gives out. The penis isn't a skeletal muscle, but the pelvic floor muscles, which support the erection, are, and the whole body is under strain. Baking soda is used by marathon runners to delay hitting the wall, lactic acid buildup. By taking it, you are giving your body a reserve of stamina. It means you get tired less easily. It means your heart beats more efficiently under stress. So it doesn't unclog the pipes like a corrosive acid, but it makes the entire plumbing system more efficient and fatigue resistant. It's a performance booster, not a surgeon. And here we get to the crux of the matter, what you've been waiting for. We will talk about this in point number 4, which is the most important of all because it concerns safety. If you mess this up, you are really playing with fire. Before I put the spoon in your hand, I need you to do a gut check. There are men for whom baking soda is pure poison. If you fall into these categories, turn off this video, or better yet, watch my videos on sodium-free alternatives. But don't touch the jar. Uncontrolled, severe hypertensives. If your pressure is already 160/90 and you take pills, adding extra sodium is like adding fuel to the fire. You risk a hypertensive crisis, and hypertension destroys the capillaries of the penis. Kidney problems. Your kidneys are the filters that handle bicarbonate. If the filters are clogged, kidney failure, you will accumulate alkalinity in the blood until you go into metabolic alkalosis, which is just as dangerous as acidosis. Those suffering from severe acid reflux, paradoxically. Yes, baking soda buffers acid, but if you take it on a full stomach, the chemical reaction produces gas, carbon dioxide. This bloats your stomach. A distended stomach presses on the diaphragm and abdominal vessels, worsening general circulation. If, on the other hand, you are a healthy man, or with slightly high but controlled blood pressure, or you just want that extra oomph, then baking soda can be your best low-cost ally. But but you have to use it like a sniper, not a machine gunner. Here is the exact protocol. Grab a pen and paper, don't wing it. Biochemistry is math. The dosage, not a soup spoon, not even a heaping teaspoon. The correct starting dose is 1/8 of a teaspoon, just a pinch under the tip of the spoon, or at most 1/4 of a teaspoon if you are a large man. Over 80 to 90 kilograms, 175 to 200 pounds. Dissolved in a large glass of water, at least 250 to 300 milliliters. The water is fundamental because it must dilute the sodium. The timing, the secret sauce. This is where everyone drops the ball. Do not take it after eating to digest and then get it on. No, if you take it after eating, you neutralize the stomach acid you need to digest proteins. Result? Digestion blocked, drowsiness, blood all goes to the stomach, and none to the penis. Goodbye erection. The perfect moment is on an empty stomach. Ideally 60 to 90 minutes before the planned activity, or simply in the morning on an empty stomach as a vascular health routine, in cycles. On an empty stomach, the baking soda passes quickly into the intestine, gets absorbed into the blood, and begins its buffering action on systemic acidity without messing with digestion. The cycle. Don't take it every day forever, the body adapts. Do cycles of 3 days on, 2 days off, or use it as needed on those days when you feel particularly tired, acidic, stressed, and you know you need a hand to perform. The super trick, the ace up your sleeve. Do you want to boost the effect by 200%? In the glass with water and the pinch of baking soda, squeeze half a lemon. But doctor, lemon is acidic. Yes, outside the body it's acidic. But when it reacts with baking soda, it creates sodium citrate. And once metabolized, it has an even more powerful alkalizing effect and provides vitamin C, which protects nitric oxide from oxidation. It's a game changer for circulation. Water, pinch of baking soda, half a lemon. Wait for it to stop fizzing and drink up. Now I know what you're thinking. Doctor, fantastic. I'll give it a shot tonight. Do it. It's a great test run. But I want to be brutally honest with you, just as I would be if you were sitting right here in front of me in my office. Baking soda is a great helper. It's like cleaning the windshield of your car. It helps you see better. It helps you drive better. But if the car's engine is broken, if the arteries are truly clogged, if testosterone is in the gutter, or if there is a neurological problem, a clean windshield isn't going to make the car start. Don't bet your entire sexual health on a white powder. Use it as part of a strategy. A strategy that includes movement to pump that blood, sleep to regenerate testosterone, and, if necessary, real medical therapies. There is no shame in asking for help. There is no shame in saying, baking soda helped me a bit, but I want to get back to 100%. Baking soda cleans the environment, but you are the one who has to nourish the body. And that is why, at the beginning, I told you about that video on toxic food. Because if you clean with baking soda but then eat poison, it's a zero-sum game. Imagine waking up tomorrow and no longer having that nagging thought, will it work tonight? Imagine feeling your body respond not like a rusty old contraption, but like a fluid, responsive, well-oiled machine. Sometimes a small chemical change, like the one I explained today, is enough to turn the tables on a situation that seemed desperate. Sometimes more is needed, but the important thing is that you have started taking care of yourself. You stopped being a victim of the problem and started managing it. This is the first step to healing. If you try the Russo protocol with water, baking soda, and lemon, I want to hear about it. Come back here in a few days and let me know in the comments how you felt. Your experience can help thousands of other men reading the comments looking for a ray of hope. And now, the most important step. Right here on the side, I'm leaving you 2 videos. One is the one I was telling you about, on the dietary mistakes that kill testosterone. The other is a specific guide on the prostate. Choose to keep educating yourself. Knowledge is the only true definitive cure. I am Dr. Melissa Russo. Take care of your body. It's the only place you have to live. See you in the next video.